Good morning. My name is Thabo from the Teacher newspaper. Welcome to Teacher Time. Today, in our episode Top Teacher, we are here at Phahama Secondary School where we'll be talking to George Mosweu. George used his diplomatic skills to turn around lives of learners who have turned to gangsterism. He will be sharing with us how he achieved these amazing results. Please join me as I go talk to him. George, you have achieved some amazing results on your own as an individual without involving the police, given the kind of problems that you have. Can you give us a background information about the nature of the problem that you had?
Yeah, we had a problem of gangsterism in the school, and it's in the premises, and we had quite a number of groups of boys who ganged, and they formed different clusters. But most of the time they had conflicts from the townships and they bring them into the school, or conflict that emanates from the school, and they will fight each other, they will rob each other, and now at the ultimate end violence would break. So ultimately we'd have a problem of violence and disciplinary problems and all that. So in 2001 I got an idea of how about, because I could see that they had people who, so-called criminals, they becoming their role models. So at the end what they did, I said, okay, let me use the very same mentality that they have. Let me take them to people who are saving time. And I organized in 2001 a tour together with, fortunately, some of the officials at the Krugersdorp prison. They agreed to the whole idea, and I managed to get a sponsor for bus, and we went there. And when they came back, most of them, 90% of them, they really had a second thought about the kind of lifestyle that they are living, and they stopped right and there, and they were involved in LRC, in the school, in leadership, and they became serious with their schoolwork. And ultimately they made it. And there are some who are always coming back to school and they say thank you, because that was a life-changing trip for me, And also last year we did the same thing. There was a company, Pillar to Post, which carried the same vision that I started in 2001. And we took them to Lokop, and the same results, because we did have, because it was after a couple of years. So you get new learners trying to do the same things, and we just had to take them, right now we don't have gangsterism anymore in the school. We just have learners, and we have a minimal problem of discipline and all that.
I started to be involved in gangster, whereby we were dealing with such things like selling dacha in school.
I started joining gangster in grade 9. Okay. If I remember well, in grade 9.
And how is life here at school without, now that gangsterism or that gangster group has been disbanded?
Life in school is much more different than years ago, because most of the people who were in this gangsterism things, most of them are out. As Mr. Mosweu said, he took us to prison, to show us about all the things which are taking place in prison, the barbaric life, all the things, you see.
Okay.
Then as time went by, I started counseling myself. I thought about this. I told myself that what I'm doing is not right, you see.
Where does the idea come from, the idea of taking them to prison? I know that later on some company joined you. I mean, you joined forces with them to take them to. Was it something from you, or did you read about it from somewhere?
No, actually, that's what I got the inspiration from the very same learners. Because when you talk to them one-on-one, they'll say, but my brother, is in prison serving this year, so, he's the man. And I said, okay, if this is how they think, let me take them to the people they think that they are the men, so that they can live. What they do, they spend the whole, and almost half a day being prisoners. They'll eat what the prisoners would eat. They'll experience how is it to sleep in that small bed and everything, and those cells are very cold, and everything, and they had a chance of the inmates just speaking to them, and they speak, all of them, it was regrets, to say this is how I was at the township. I was the most famous guy, notorious for raping, hijacking, and all, but here I became the less important person. Everything was taken away from me. Prison life is not the thing. So I actually got the inspiration from the very same learners to take them to prison.
Interesting. In your view, what were some of the main causes or reasons behind them to get involved in those bad activities?
The most interesting thing is the family unit.
Okay.
Because I felt that maybe we're trying to solve a problem of discipline, but where does it come from? I had a chance to meet some of the parents. I had a chance to go to their homes, and by my assessment, those who were giving us a lot of problems, I found out that the family is not a very stable family. Some of them, they staying with grandmother, grandfather, who are very old, There's no guidance and all that. And then I said, but having that background, we can look into addressing first the love that they lack at home. Some of them, they want attention by doing all these things because they don't get attention from home.
Is there any message, guys, that you want to say to your other learners out there who are watching, who might be doing almost the same thing that you?
I want to tell them that they must focus on their studies, listen to their educators, and believe that God is there, will make the way for them.
My message is that we must not forget where we come from, and we must focus in our future.
What I can say is, we, today's youth, we must give respect to everyone. Teachers, parents, everyone. That's all I can say.
Thanks a lot, guys, and I'm very pleased that you have turned your lives around and you're leading normal lives, and then you will be exemplary to other learners.
Thank you, sir.
Finally, any message that you want to send out there to your colleagues, teachers who are watching?
Yeah. Let's love them. Let's love our kids. Treat every learner as if it's your own. The way you want to discipline your children, the way you want to make and pave a better future for them, you must look at every learner as if you're looking at your own child.
Okay.
That's it.
George, thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank you, Thabo.
Most of our schools have been hit by a wave of violence. Our teachers can win against this scourge by learning from people like George Mosweu. See you next time on Teacher Time.